lovelies, I'm Vera, and I welcome you to the private world where non-human creatures dominate. The creature we're talking about today is the dog, and it's no other breed than the Rottweiler. So if you want to learn more about them, come with me to the House of Vigilio Rottweilers. Stay tuned and enjoy the rest of the show. And don't forget to subscribe to the private world channel. Hi, with me here is the CEO of House of Vigilio Rottweilers. So let's get the ball rolling. Who is Peter?
This question. For many people, they know me as the Rottweiler breeder, and then they don't know what is behind or who is behind the whole House of Vigilio thing. So let me take you through. So growing up, grandpa, dad, everyone around me loved animals. Throughout GHS in St. Teresa's School, North Carnegie. I used to live in North Carnegie. That's where I was born. So throughout my primary and GHS school, all my mates knew I loved animals. So back, you meet any of my mates, they'll tell you, I'm not surprised I'm breeding dogs now. And then somewhere 2009, I got my first dog. Whatever breed it was, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. So when I started, I've handled poodles, I've handled ridgebacks, I've handled boables, I've handled Dobermans, I've handled Rottweilers. I think I had a Chow Chow as a gift from 7th Avenue Kennel, Asari. It was around Alisa Hotel back then. And then so bull mastiffs and so many other breeds. So fast forward 2015-16, I had this friend I met on a group WhatsApp page 2012, Copson. He's not in Ghana now. So then I told him my plan. You know, you always have this friend you discuss everything with. He's been my friend since day one. We hardly meet, but he's one of the closest allies I have. So we discussed, and I told him I wanted to breed toy dogs. Back then I had done all my research on the poodle, whatever it is I needed to know, which colors are not supposed to mate which colors, fading colors, solid colors, whatever I needed to know. I put a solid plan in front of him thinking he'd approve and bring suggestions on board. He said I should forget it and let's do Rottweilers instead. So he was actually in Rottweilers then, and then he introduced me to Mr. Ampate, he introduced me to Brooks, he introduced me to some Serbian breeders and a lot of other contacts Copson gave me. And then I'll say he dumped me in the Rottweiler world, and then he's now breeding the toys he said I shouldn't breed is what he's doing now, and then he has left the Rottweilers for me. So then that's Peter. And then Peter didn't start with great success as everyone is seeing it today. So 2009 is when I had my first mixed breed. I was still in SHS then. I'm a very young man. After completing SHS, I came home, the family moved to Ashali Boche. And that's when I decided to take this dog thing seriously. So then I take weekends because that's when people are home. Or if it's on a weekday around 4 or 5 p.m. I go around my neighborhood. If I hear a dog bark in your house, I see beware of dog in your house, I'll knock on your gate. Hi, I'm Peter. I live here. I'm an animal lover. I could help you take care of your dog. Through this, I met a lot of people. Some gave me the worst experiences in my life. Some will call you all sorts of names. Some will think what you're doing for them is not worth it. But I mean, good or bad, it was worth the experience. And then I'm glad God made me meet everyone else. Credits to Mr. Sam. I call him Mr. Sam Blue House because he was in the Blue House then, and he's a lawyer. And then he signed all my official documents I needed to sign when I was going to UPSA University. I studied accounting in UPSA, and I did agriculture in St. Augustine's College, Cape Coast. So then Sam is the highlight of that time of my career because anytime I go to him, he gives me all the advice I need and everything I need to do. Yeah, so then I go door to door. I used to bath people's dogs. On weekends, I bath their dogs, I walk their dogs, I go and buy dog. I mean, they give me the money to buy the dog for them. I recommend dog foods and things. So that's how I met so many of my contacts. So for some of my clients today, they come and they see their place and they're like, Peter, I love the growth and development so far. I remember when you started no dog at all. You used to come to my house, you used to help me get this puppy and all that. So that's how my life has been. I've worked with I wouldn't say work with as support. Leo Kennel. He was in he's still in Dowenya. So I'd finished with my dogs. This is 2016-ish. I had about 4 or 5 dogs in the house. I'd finish around 5:30 a.m. Pick the earliest available trot to Dowenya. Be with Leo the whole day. To me, it was a learning experience. He was breeding Rottweilers. I've been with Humble. I'm still with Humble. Same for most of the people. The state kennel. I mean, I back then. Even though I'm still like that, even though I have so many dogs and so many responsibilities in the house, if someone needs me, I'd be there. 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 3 a.m., whatever it is, I'd be there. So this is how I gathered all my experience, all the knowledge and everything I know that I am to, and what that's made me what I am today. So that's just a bit about Peter.
Why didn't you study veterinary medicine back then? I heard you said you studied accounting.
Yes,
Why?
yes. Okay, so it was the whole 6 year, 7 year thing that pulled me off. And I was deeply involved in the dogs before university. And then it was sacrificing the dream I had for maybe a veterinary life later on, or forgetting that aspect of my life and then focusing on the career. And then I can't say it's an excellent choice, but I mean I am where I am today. For the reason why I decided on Rots till date, I still don't know, but I love the breed and it ends there. Maybe at any point in time, like I think last 2 years, I had a French bulldog, the male color. I mean, I just joined the craze and I'm out of it again. I might do that again for some other breeds. I'm looking at the Boa bulls and then the XL bullies. I'm developing interest there, but I will be just to enjoy the experience and then come back. I love the Rottweilers 100%. What makes me love them, I don't know. Why I'm with them and sticking with them and decide to stick with them forever, I don't know. So for that, I don't have an answer for you.
Wow. So, do you think it's even good to breed at all?
Okay, so then it depends. It depends. It depends. I'd like you to be more specific on your question so that I'll be able to answer you.
Well, I think is it so important to breed?
Okay, so is it so important to breed? Let me answer this way. So then, dogs were developed or made or created in whichever way they were made to perform specific functions. I personally believe those functions have been left behind. People hardly use the dogs for the specific tasks for which they were made or created. So then, if you ask me, why am I breeding dogs? It's because I love my Rottweilers. I love to show what I feel my ideal Rottweiler should be, and then the only way I can do that is to breed, and of course within standard. I mean, the standard gives us a blueprint of what the dog should be. I mean, no extremes, no, how do I even say it, no lower ends. I mean, we should try to strike a balance in there. So then I know what I like, and I'm trying to build what I like and then develop interest for other people, and also change the narrative where everybody feels the Rottweiler is this vicious dog that would kill you without provocation. So, I mean, several times I've sent people videos of my dogs all playing together, playing with strangers, playing with whatever they need to, playing with kids and everything. I mean, a dog is an end product of what you make it. So if you keep your dog locked in thinking it's a vicious dog and you don't allow it, feel free, correct it, make mistakes, get to understand things, you'd have an adult dog that would kill and would destroy and be distractive and do all the negative things that the public has made, created, the public image that has been created for the dogs.
So, can you exactly tell me the kind of breed that would help me the most when I come in for a dog? Can you exactly tell me the breed that will help me?
Okay, so
Because I think people go in for the wrong breeds and it affects them the most. So, can you tell them?
So what I believe is anyone coming to me, I mean, there's so many breeders of various breeds in Ghana and in the world. The moment you come to me, I feel you know you want a Rottweiler. But then it doesn't end there. I ask a few questions. The major one is, have you owned a dog before? Because over pampering the dog spoils the dog. Just like humans, you over pamper the child, it grows up and it's a mess. Same with dogs, irrespective of breed. You can have a very aggressive poodle, you can have a very shy Rottweiler. So it depends on your knowledge. So I ask you, have you owned a dog before? Yes, no, we continue from there. So why do you want a Rottweiler? I mean, not just every person. If you're a breeder and you come to me, I mean, I won't ask you all these questions. But if you come to me and you make me know that I should help you on the choice of breed. People have come to me and then at the end of the day, they settled for Labradors, they settled for Shih Tzus and all that. I mean, we'll have a discussion. Yes, of course, I'm here to sell. But then I want you to have something that in a year or two later, you'd call me and thank me for helping you make this choice and all that.
All right. So, do we have people who come to inspect the kennels?
Okay,
So I've heard of backyard breeders. So that's what.
So for that, No matter, there's no system that works 100%. Even
And sorry, do you think there should be a system like that?
yes, there should be, so that it would limit the number of backyard breeders. We can't eliminate them. It's everywhere where they have the most strictest of rules. It is there. So yes, we need some people to do some kind of inspections, and then some kind of standard authority, and then that's in that regard we have KUG. So hopefully next year the kind of inspections will be done by the KUG.
So what happens when one doesn't take this breeding seriously? What happens?
Okay, so for a fact, everybody likes to call someone producing so many puppies a puppy mill. But then my point is, let's not limit puppy males to the number of puppies produced. Let's define puppy males by those who don't decide to join club, those who don't give the best care to their dogs. I mean, you go to someone who is selling his dogs at XXX price and everything. You see the kind of kennels the dogs are, and you'd be like, ah, come on, you make this much from the dogs, and then why do you keep the dogs here? I'd like to tempt those people, or put them in the brackets of the puppy males. So it's not about how many puppies you produce or how many dogs you have. It's about the quality of care you can give the dogs, and then the joining of associations and doing the things right. That's it. That's it for me.
Do you encounter challenges as a breeder?
Oh yes, with vets, with breeders, with clients, everywhere. It's just like every other business. With breeders, the usual. My dog is better than your dog. These useless things. I mean, it's in every business. My dog is better than your dog. I mean, to what end? To what end? There's no perfect dog. There's no perfect dog. Bottom line is, your dog and my dog should meet the breed standard. If you are first and I'm second, no problem. We still meet the breed standard. We'll still produce best dogs. The dog that is first doesn't necessarily mean that all the puppies you produce will always be first in their positions. Aha. So, I mean, this is an unnecessary fight. And then with the vets, we are struggling with the 24-hour service, because at times in the middle of the night you have an issue and then the vet can't sort you out. And then I'd like to blame the breeders on this other part I'm coming to mention instead of the vets. So a breeder will have an issue with his dog. He won't go to the vet. He'll call the next available breeder. Oh, I have this issue with my dog. I remember last time you mentioned you had a similar issue. What drugs did you use? The breeder will tell him he self-medicates the dog. 2-3 days, it's getting worse. Then he goes to the vet. Instead of being open enough to tell the vet that this started a week ago and I gave this and this medication, he goes on a clean slate. Oh, I've not given any medication, it just started yesterday. With that information, if the vet is not able to react or act on time to save your dog, you end up blaming the vets that they have killed your dog, but then it's the breeder's fault. Yes. And then, of course, there are those parading themselves as vets with no licenses and doing their stuff. So like I said, breeders and their issues, vets and their pet shops, there are issues everywhere.
So would you recommend a first-time owner to buy a Rottweiler?
Okay, so I mean, whatever I've read before I started, they always say the Rottweiler is not good for a first-time owner. But then I've had people who have experience, in quotes, with dogs, buy Rottweilers and have issues. And you have first-timers have an excellent day. So it depends on which particular dog, the breeder you're buying from, and the soundness of the breeder's dogs. So you see him here, you can touch him, play with him and everything. When it's time to do his work, he'll do his work perfectly. So you need more balanced dogs. Yes, you have some people that come to you, oh, I want an aggressive dog. They come, he's calm, they are like, oh, then he's not aggressive enough. They prefer, that boy, you see him later. They prefer a dog that would rush you at the first instance, but then actually that's wrong. Most of the dogs that do that are actually doing it out of fear. So it's about who attacks first. If he's able to attack you first, then you run away, then it ends there. Yeah, so that's about it. That's it.
What are the most common health problems when it comes to Rottweilers?
So I like to say we are fine. I like to put it in quote, we are fine. And then by grace, the KEG starts in this DNA project next year, where we'll be able to test for the breed-specific genetic disease that our dogs have. So let me use that to explain. So I have a male here, Crash. I wanted to do some crazy breeding around him, where I'd breed him to his daughter or him to his granddaughter. But then I can't do it blindly because I don't know what is in there. I can only see what is out here. We don't know what's in the genes. So then before I bought him from the breeder in, well, that's a long history. Before I bought him from the breeder in Russia, I'd asked for some tests So then there's this JLPP that is breed specific to I think Rottweilers and Dobermans. And then the puppies don't go beyond 6 months. They end up dying and all that. So you don't breed two carriers and all that. Those like just like a sickle cell ish. So then it happens that he's a carrier. So then it means when I made a decision to breed blindly, I could have mated him to his daughter, who was also a carrier. People will buy the puppies from me. 6 months time, they'll be dying out of the JLPP, and they wouldn't have anything to say or to prove that it wasn't from my end or it was the other guy's end. So for genetic for diseases, I like to leave it to when we do the genetic tests. But the Rottweiler is prone to basically every other thing: obesity, heart issues, eye issues, and then all these things have come up due to our excessive inbreedings. If not, that is why I advocate for outcrosses. So we've had, by God's grace, we've had A to Z letters. That is, each letter comes with a letter. So we've had A to Z, and we are on an A2 and B2 again. That's going back again. Most of our breedings are outcrosses. There's this perception out there that it is only dogs from certain lines that produce certain traits, and not, I mean, let me put it that way. It's only specific dogs that produce that. But then I keep telling people a good dog is a good dog, irrespective of its blood. So then instead of doubling up and tripling up on the same particular genetic pool we have, let's diversify. Let's open up. That is why I got him and I got Crash. Actually, I got Crash's dad. That's Crash's dad. What's his name? Knox. So I paid for Knox somewhere from a Russian breeder, somewhere 2020 or earlier. I think 2020. I don't really remember. And then there was a delay in the flight due to some issues. And then the dog died there. And then the breeder gifted me Crash. He was 4 months then. So I left him with the breeder because I wanted to run tests. I mean, we don't do most of the tests here. So any dog I buy directly from breeders in Europe or outside Africa, I pay for extra tests and extra care and shows and everything for them to attend it, so that when I have my dogs, I know they're up to standard before I breed them.
So with their temperament, can you tell us more about them?
Okay, so the Rottweiler is a very, very, very confident breed. But then again, that is the online definition. But then it depends on the breeders. So if we decide to breed towards more stable temperaments, it would affect the whole gene pool over the period of time. So yes, the Rottweiler is a confident, self-assured dog, wouldn't take no nonsense and all that. But then it still depends on the breeders. Everything goes back to the breeders. Yes, whoever initiated the Rottweiler movement sets the standards and everything, but then it goes back to the breeders. If breeders decide to do the wrong thing, after a period of time, the whole thing is wrong. So yes, everything goes back to the breeders. That's why I'm insisting that all breeders join clubs and do the right thing.
So can you tell us about their lifespan?
Yes, you can have, okay, so he's almost 7 years. I got him 2019 when he was 3 years old. And then I think he and Lady are my oldest dogs. Lady's actually 7. She's a female. She's actually 7. They could go up to 12, 13 with good care. 12, 13 with good care.
How is your daily routine like as a breeder? Can you tell us more?
Okay, so for most of the breeders, they don't do the things themselves. So I mean, they have hired kennel boys and assistants to help. I'm not saying it is wrong. No. I'm just saying that so then many breeders might not be able to give you exact details of how the day goes by. So personally, I do everything myself. All my whelpings, all my matings, all my cleaning, all my bathing. The only thing I don't do myself is vet work. I mean, I send them to the vet. I go to Dr. Connie's place at Abelempe all the time. So I wake up. If I don't have puppies, I'm up by 4 a.m. I sweep all the cages, wash all their bowls, give them fresh water, allow them play. If I have to walk some of them, I walk some of them. If I need to train any of them for upcoming shows and events, I do that. So then by 6 a.m. I'm done. If I have any meetings, I do them early mornings or late night. And that's it for the morning. And then I feed them just once a day. That's if they're adults. That's after 1 year, it's just one meal a day. And then if they are puppies, that's let me say 4 months to 9 months or 4 months to 1 year. I do twice or 3 times a day, depending on the diet requirements of that particular puppy to look the way it has to. There are some that twice a day will be fine. Some you need to do 3 times. That's about it. But then when I have a litter, I am 1 hour. I wake up 1 hour earlier, finish with the puppies. I come to the adults, and the puppies I go to them depending on their age. Every 2 to 3 or 4 hours, I'm with them for an hour each. Yes. So that's about it. That's about it for my daily routine.
If someone wants to buy a Rottweiler here in Ghana, how much will be the cost be?
Okay. So average prices in the market for a Rottweiler is, I think, 5,000 cedis for a Rottweiler puppy. So that's about Rottweiler puppies in the market. At my end, yes, for 5,000 cedis, you get a puppy.
For a puppy?
Yes.
That's a huge sum of money. So, Peter, assuming someone has a bitch and then wants to bring it for mating, what's the cost? What's involved, the cost and things? Can you tell us?
Okay, so I like to start from the cost of the stud. So then out there, everybody, even some dog people, assume, oh, it is just a mating. It is just a dog. Now, why are you charging that much? Blah, 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 blah. But then they need to understand that for you to get a quality stud, that's a quality male Rottweiler, you are looking at nothing below 6,000 euros for an adult dog. That is minus shipping. Shipping is around another 2,000 euros. Yes, of course, they are cheaper dogs, they are more expensive dogs, but I'm just giving you the average price. You're looking at a minimum of, an average of 6,000 euros, and then another 2,000 euro for shipping. So before someone decides to do any studying thing, know that the owner of the stud you are going to use has paid about 8,000 euros to get the dog. And then aside that, right now the average price of dog food is about 800 cedis per bag. I use 8 to 10 bags a month. Others use 3 to 4 bags even in a day. So then look at all these costs before you decide to even own a dog for start services. So aside all the costs and everything, the dogs must meet the breed standards. So everyone in town believes, again, everyone in town, I like using that phrase. So everyone in town believes once it's a dog with a pedigree and it looks nice, it is good for breeding. That is why I said again that you need to join the club, assess your dogs, make sure your dogs meet the standard. Forget how your dog looks. Let it meet the standard first, then we'll continue from there. So then now, by God's grace, all the dogs and all the boys in the house meet the breed standard for me. So then now, coming to me, you have a bitch. It's only Falco that was opened to, in quotes, non-pedigree bitches. That is, bitches with no history, no documented history. The reason being, I wanted people to see that this is what quality looks like. And then you can't go around inviting people to your house. So in case someone decides to reach out to you that I want to do a mating, I want them to come home and come and see what quality looks like. With this approach, we've been able to get people move from non-pedigrees to pedigrees. We've got people who have assessed their non-pedigree dogs and have started the process of making their pedigrees for them. So back to the start fee. Average pricing of Rottweiler stud. I like to use average. I wouldn't like to mention my prices, even though my prices are the most affordable in town for what I do, because I help you sell the litter. At times, we even sell the whole litter for the people at their prices. We coach them through the heat period, through the gestation period, through birthing, through raising of puppies, recommendations and everything. I mean, we do a whole lot. And we don't even take up to what others are charging. For our services, we are the only ones who offer them. So if you want to use him right now, look at the risk I have taken. He could die tomorrow. Who has lost? I have lost. The person coming to the meeting has not lost anything. So if breeders decide to take a token for their studying and then people assume, look, I haven't even taken anything close to 4,000 cedis for start for him. I am that cheap, in quotes. But then out there, people would mention Peter takes 7,000, but I've not even taken up to 4,000 cedis before for studying, even though I have the most expensive Rottweiler in Ghana now. Yeah, so that's about. So before you come to me for studying, after listening to all I have said, now we've moved off the non-pedigree. So now your dog must be pedigree. 1. 2, you need to run your brucellosis test. You need to run your vaginal swabs. You need to deworm your dog. You need to make sure your vaccination is on point, because I live in the house with my wife and my child. The dog can even bite me. I prefer being safe that I know the dog is vaccinated, everything is done. If it bites me, I mean, it's part of the job. It's part of it. There's nothing I can do about it. But then we muzzle them and everything, but then just safety reasons. So then your vaccinations on point, your deworming on point, your brucellosis, your vaginal swab. And then, of course, the cash part. And then free of ectoparasites, no fleas, no ticks. And then at least your dog should look presentable. She didn't bring me something that I'll look and say, oh no, I won't cost for you. So that's about it.
So, Mr. Peter, let's end it up with this one. Do you face challenges with the veterinary care in Ghana?
So, being me, I understand things my way. So I would say no, even though many would argue otherwise. Like the example I cited earlier, waiting till the last minute to send to the vet and then later you blame the vet. So then I don't know if it's because I am privileged or blessed to have Dr. Connie as my vet, but I face little to zero challenges.
So your final words for people who want to breed dogs and then dog lovers?
Okay, for those who want to mate and have puppies, I don't have anything for them. They can just mate and have their puppies and do their own thing. But they shouldn't come in the way of those doing it right. So for those who actually want to breed, settle on a breed, find a mentor. You know, finding 2 or 3 may give you varied opinions and views and experiences. It's good, but then if you are not mature enough to handle it well, you might mess up everything. So find at least one mentor. Not someone who owns so many dogs. Not someone who has one dog. It's not about the number of dogs. It's about the quality of education, the quality of experience the person can give you. So the person might not necessarily have a dogs, but then he has handled people's dogs and all that. So don't limit it to the number of dogs, or don't limit it to the brand of the breeder. Go and ask relevant questions. Not, I want to buy puppy, how much? No. Ask relevant questions. Because breeding is not easy at all. You can mate 10 bitches the whole year, you won't have any puppies. You can be there with the stud the whole year, you won't have any studding. And then every if you have 10 dogs like I do, it means on a monthly you're using 10,000 cedis without having any money coming in. So then if you don't have people to guide you and coach you on what to do or what not to do, you are doomed. Because it's very expensive. Buying the dog is not even expensive. Taking care of the dog, doing the right thing, and joining clubs, attending events and every other thing makes it even more expensive than it is. So buying a dog is not even costly as many people say it. Because I have a litter of 4 puppies. No, I had a litter of 4 puppies and I lost 2 at birth. It's my fault. Because I overfed the mother and the puppies were extremely big. So while she was pushing, it took longer for the puppies to come out. And then when they came out, they were strained. So ideally, I should have opted for a CS. But then, late notice, my fault. So then these are some of the challenges we face. Your dog can give birth to 10 puppies and the next day they are all dead. You can wake up and all your dogs are dead. So it is not as smooth as buying a dog, getting puppies, selling, making your cash. If it was that easy, I'm sure so many people who have started wouldn't have stopped. So find a mentor, let him walk you through the hardest part of the breeding. Forget the easiest parts, walk you through the hardest parts. If you think you can, it's not about cash. You can have so much money and you still back out. It's not about cash. If you have the passion and you are blessed from above, of course, you can do it.
Hello viewers, at this section, Mr. Peter is going to take us through the Rottweilers in the kennel. So come with me.
Alright, so before we continue, you know this is a new page starting up. Let's support her. Let's take 5 seconds. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell for all notifications. And share the video. Share, reshare, keep sharing until everyone on your status sees it. So let's go. So then this is, you have to forgive me because the sun is high and they're not coming into the sun today. So this is a Falco daughter I bred myself. Come. She's 4 months old. She's dirty and all. You know puppies would always play in the sun and the water. She's 4 months old. She was bred here in my kennel by myself. And then this is Cronus, not my dog. It's for Alfred in Nigeria. He just came to spend 6 months here to mate females and then go back. And then this is Rich, my own female. Come, Rich. Come. So this is my own female from Snyder. She was bred here in my kennel. She's almost a year old. And then, okay, so this is Falco. I bought him, okay, originally he was from Serbia to the breeder in Nigeria, Royal Line. He's the same person that got me Snyder. That is the father of this girl. So that's Falco. I got him from Royal Line. Don't worry. You're entering their space. That's like Cherry. And this is Cherry, one of our breeding females. Ice. Hey. Ice, come. So this is Ice. I got him, I think, 3-4 months ago. The story behind this guy is very interesting because I've been following him since he was imported into the country as a puppy in 2018. But then I couldn't reach the owner because the owner didn't bring him for breeding purposes. He brought him for himself because he loved the dog. But then fast forward, so many trainers, so many issues. The dog became overly aggressive, attacked everyone around, and then became a nuisance in quotes. So like I said, you can have the best dog, but then upbringing is the problem. Since he came to my house, he even plays with my baby, which is just she's just 9 months.